Today we're gonna have Brochie, Brothie in the with us today. I'm Rainy from RHAYNI.co, and I'm excited to be able to talk to her and her design process and why she does this, how she keeps herself posting online. I found her online through Creators Method, and I just really love her work. And um, it was inspiring for me, the call, and I think it was inspiring for her. At least I wish, I hope so. I think you guys will like it because it's almost like, this, she asked me this question about flow and if I'm structured and organized. And I want to believe that I'm not structured and organized, but in reality, I really am. And um, the way my brain works. And I've been like, part of my life has always been structured, and then a few years ago I'm like, I'm not going to be structured, and it gives me a little bit of anxiety, to be honest. And talking to her, there's a scientific method for space whispering, which is what I use for designing using soulful tools and combining it. And then based on the questions that I ask my client, I come up with their design, right? Design of any space. And so she uses a scientific structured way of knowing people, but the way she explains it, it's very fun. I hope you enjoy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How are you?
Good. So nice to see you face to face. This is really nice.
I know, right? Because we had a call last week, so we're agreeing for this.
Of course.
First off, please explain how to spell your name. Or like
Oh,
yeah.
okay, so it's Brochie. It's hard to say. Brochie. Brochie. Last name is Spritzer.
Spritz.
It's okay. People call me Brochie. It's fine.
How do you like to be called though?
Well, my name is Brochie. So to the best of your ability.
Broth. Brothy? Kind of broth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Where does it come from?
It actually means blessing in Hebrew.
Blessings. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
the Hebrew word for blessing.
So do you feel like a blessing to this earth?
Try to, yeah.
I think you are. I think you are.
Thank you. You're so sweet. The best of all of our abilities, right? How about you? How do you pronounce your name? Rainy?
So my full name is Reynelina. In Spanish would be Reynelina, but no one calls me that. And so it's always been Rainy in Spanish, so it's Rainy. A
Oh,
friend in high school used to call me Rainy, rainy day. And I thought, just,
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Tell us a little bit about yours, like what you do. I know you're an architectural designer. So how would that be different than an interior designer like myself?
So how would that be different? I went to school. I did an undergraduate in architecture, and then I did a master's in architecture as well. One of the things I remember in high school when I've always wanted to be a designer, artist. I used to paint since I was very young. I actually won a prize like in third grade or something, and they like used it as to publish it like statewide. And like intentional. I just love there's things that I love to do that usually I'm like, oh no, that's not gonna make me money or blah blah. So that's a belief I need to work on. But I've always was interested in like mathematics, structures, and how things work from the inside out. I wanted to know what was in between the walls. I wanted to know how to how it works, but not necessarily, and then use the artistic part in it. And I thought architecture had like a little bit of both. The yeah.
It definitely does. I love
How,
that.
how
And I
about
have a question on architecture. How come in Europe they're using stone for the interiors and it's made out of such strong, durable material? And here it's just sheetrock and cheapness beyond. And I know it's because of cost, because the cost is like, you can't compare. But is there a way to even do what they do there in the US?
I mean, there is, and if you go to like older cities of the US, you find a lot of stone, brick buildings that have been, hundred of years probably. But the thing is, I think it's a lot about the mentality. Like Europe has this, it's an older nation, older country than ours. Like compared to them, we're new. And so we're always thinking about the new. What can we do to renew? And thinking about not specifically the future, but how to change that future. And in a way, it's like, I don't know if like the US is not like grounded, grounded to the earth compared to Europe. Europe feels like we've been to so many wars, we've survived so many things, we'll keep surviving, we'll be here. And I don't know what the USA, like I think it's very limited. Like even the design of structures is calculated by 25 to 30 years. So in 30 years it's obsolete. So sometimes it's better to knock off economically, like torn down a whole building, than actually save it, try to save it.
You're saying that the home lasts 30 years?
Not the home, but the structure is designed.
The structure is designed to last for 30 years,
Yeah.
but from the bottom even? Like the
So
structure foundation?
there's a lot of things happening in the earth. For example, like there's countries where there's a lot of earthquakes. There's country where there's a lot of hurricanes, right? Or states in the US. So you have to calculate onto certain amount of years because after that it might have increased, the earthquake number. Like maybe before it was like 4 and now it's like 5. And so you have to reinforce the laws and how to support a building. But yes, it's very limited. They don't calculate like for 100 years. I haven't seen yet. I haven't worked with a structuralist that is like this is gonna last 100 years. It's like 25 to 30. I think we would have to definitely ask a structuralist. This is cool. I think
That's crazy. I
that's
hope
a
it's
very
not.
good question. Why are you asking this? What?
I get curious about it. I don't like the cheap sheetrock that you just bang into the wall and it's broken. It's
I
so
know.
stupid. So
And the thing is, the US is so influenced, like worldwide, that, people start adapting it in other parts of the world, by the way.
yeah, it's true. They
Yeah.
should keep to their stone interiors and plaster, you know what I mean? Like the real plaster, not the fake plaster that now we're painting on saying our home was plaster. That's just to get the look, you know what I mean?
So
Um,
tell me what's behind. I really love what's up here.
oh, okay, so I started post like just cutting out images. And what I do is there's really 8 categories in design. Well, there's 8 categories, and every type of design will fit into one of those 8 categories. Every person is designed to fit into one of those categories. If I uncover that, I'll know your exact interior design style. And every single person that I've uncovered it, it's like uncanny. They're like, oh my gosh, yeah.
That is
It's
so
like this
cool.
is what they like. So I just started putting on the wall different categories to like show like this, that,
So it
this
kind of
one.
reminds you, it takes you back, like, okay, this is who they are, or this is the type of design.
Yeah, that they like, and then we can get our inspiration because the first step before we design is what's your inspiration? What do you like? Instead of it being what I like as a designer, it's what do you like as the client? And let me kind of step into your brain and what will make you the most happy,
And this is a
right?
science, right?
Yeah, this is all based on science. It's based on your personality. So if you're an introvert or extrovert, and if you're easygoing or very conscientious, and the last one is if you like to try new things or if you like tried and true. So like we could do it to you. I think you're an extrovert because you like reached out to me and you're like, no. If I had to put you between the two, I would put you into
Yeah.
extrovert.
I do have like traits of an introvert because I need a lot of time alone when I read about it. But then My nature is an extrovert. Like I like to give, but I also realize that being around people also gives me energy. Like I love like working in coffee shops, right? Because in coffee shops there's a lot of people coming in and out. Even if I tune out and I'm concentrating on what I'm doing, just knowing that people are around, like my favorite neighborhood or, people that stimulate me, like their colors, what they wear. Yeah.
I love that. So I already know what category you're in just from speaking. So I'll just ask you, are you conscientious or easygoing? I think
Tell
for
me a
your
little bit how.
okay, conscientious is like very like orderly, systemized, structured, easygoing, like, whatever, I'll wing it, it's fine, it's fine,
So almost part of my life I was more structured, and that's how I achieved a lot, I feel, in life in general. Like I was always very structured, but after a while I decided to let's try the flow, you know? And so for years I've been flowing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say we're not so sure about that one, but I already have an idea. And
Yeah.
then do you like to try new things or do you like tried and true?
Oh my God, I love trying new things.
Exactly. I knew you were gonna say that. So I would say you're an adventurer,
Okay.
which is somebody that doesn't let life just happen to them. They love being around like large cities, hustling and bustling, coffee shops, loves to see people. Nature is important to them. They like different things. So like colorful clothing, colorful spaces, and like patterns and prints and things on the opposite sides of the color wheel will make them very happy. They don't want like that muted, neutral interior. They want it to have more light and all that good stuff for them. Do you resonate with that?
Oh my God, you are incredible. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So cool. I mean, I could just see from your hairband to the earrings to the shirt, it's the same thing as your clothing is your interiors. You're going to be drawn to the same stuff. So you put it in the pillows and the accents. You know what I mean? You
It's
want to see
actually
people in your home. You don't want to be alone. Like it's very important. And you're also very active. Like you want to have people over, but then you need your quiet time at the end of the day to rejuvenate yourself.
beautiful. It's interesting because I use a system called space whispering. It doesn't exist. It's something that my friend Megan Koval, she did my website and she came up with the space whispering based on like prompts and questionnaires. And it's very similar to this. And this is where the flowy part goes and the scientific. Like, I do send my clients like prompts, so questions. And after they answer the questions, it's like our first date questions.
Mm,
And then based on that, I get their color palette, I get their design or what they need, like their essence of who they are. And it's
yeah.
also based on color, on their clothing as well. And then, for example, like there was a project I had that she was using a lot of brown, and I realized that she wasn't feeling grounded, like safe in her own space because her space was growing. Their family was growing. And so she was looking for those, picking up those colors a lot. And I'm like, immediately, I'm like, oh, they need a blue palette to balance the brown. So, like the sky and earth. And these are things that are very intuitive. But then now that I'm listening to you, maybe they're not. And they're just like, very scientific. I just hadn't realized it. And so
Exactly. I
that's like
know
grounding
100%.
the ooh.
Yeah, because I was doing it intuitively as well before I discovered this. Always looking at the client, designing for them, not so much about me. Obviously, we put a little bit of ourselves into it because that's human nature, and I'm trying not to anymore. But then I uncovered this and I realized every single client came to life, and I was just so amazed that, like, wow, there's science behind this, and it you can't unsee it once you see it. And it's like everybody is so true to it and there's like no negating it. It's just like it's crazy. Like that person that wants the more Scandinavian design, the person that wants like very soothing, but still weird pieces in the mix, right? But still like so calm and creative. And then there's the colorful person, someone wants it all, right? And then there's like in between, and then there's a straight modern line. Everyone has their own different mix, and it's just been so fun.
Isn't that interesting? Because we are always about the trends, what's new, what's trending of
Yes.
the year. And then, oh, I want my house to look like this. And they show you a magazine or a picture or Pinterest. And I usually tell my clients, like, don't show me Pinterest. I'm sorry. And they feel so bad. And, I have to be more compassionate, but it's like you're going to influence my design, regardless of me, like the subconscious will try to, like please you. But it's not about pleasing you. It's basically about knowing who you are, which is kind of what you're doing, knowing who you are. And then based on that, creating a design that's specialized to you. And then when you come home, you feel like you belong. You feel like, oh, this is my home, finally.
1,000%. That's what it's all about. It's about coming home and being you in an aligned space. And that's how you get to your highest alignment. You can't be in this space that was like, this is the trend, but it was so not you. And then you don't feel aligned in it. And there's like, you're just like stuck. Like, what is this? Like, to me, it's more important to be aligned in your space than in your clothing. Like the clothing, you're not even looking at yourself all day. The space is what your eyes are seeing. Like from when you open your eyes to when you shut your eyes. That's your surrounding. I don't care if you want to get comfortable in your cozy pajamas and be around your house all day. As long as your space is you.
Wow. I've never had that perspective. It's true. When you mentioned the colors that I was wearing, I was like, what? What? Because I have you pinned, so I'm only seeing you. And I'm on the top, and then I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
right, right. Like remembering what I wore, because I wasn't even thinking of what I
It
had.
just comes so naturally to you. Like this is me. The
Yeah.
same thing has to be for space. It's very, very cool.
Your daily routine. Then I had like your dreams, your aspirations, your vision board, um, and like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
wow. My dreams, I don't know. It's like to one day do like crazy projects, like I think that's like all of our dreams, no? To like just do like crazy huge projects, unlimited budget, like all that good stuff. I think that's my dream for one day.
Wow. Is it an office? Is it an apartment? Is it a whole building? Like,
It's gonna sound crazy, but it's like more like, a boutique hotel, like stuff like that. Wouldn't that be like the best dream ever?
oh my God, I'm in. I'm in.
Exactly. I'll use it for my architectural drawings.
Thank you, thank you. I designed a boutique hotel, by the way, but it never went through. So the design, I only did the conceptual design, but the building, it's already built and everything. They just didn't finish it. So yeah,
Wow, what do you mean they never finished it?
they never ended up completing it. Like how do people find you right now?
I'm on Instagram. It's my name, Brochie Spritzer, and that's how you can find me. I'm in the middle of revamping my website, so I'm working on that, just so you can book a call with me. But for now, you can just send me a DM on my Instagram to work together. Part of it is word of mouth. So
Yeah.
once you start putting yourself out there, it's a lot of word of mouth. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yep, same here. I found you through the creator method space
Yeah.
because I'm interested in joining, not specifically now, but soon. And I saw your work and I was just so impressed what you're doing and like and
Wow.
what you keep going. And I one of the question was like, what is your routine? How are you keeping up with posting and talking about this beautiful method of yours?
Yeah, so I love that question. It's a lot about planning ahead and not getting the burnout. So, like, because certain days I'm out all day with my clients and I don't have time to film. And even if I did have time, I'm exhausted at the end of it. Like I don't have the energy to like turn on the camera and film. But so you always need to take like 1 or 2 days or just like a slower morning where you have, work from home stuff instead of meeting with the client. And those are kind of like your filming days, or like some days you just have to like get inspiration what you're going to do. And then you can post consistently. Because if you're going to just do one for the next day, each day, you're going to get burnt out. So you kind of have to do like a few at a time.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah, it's beautiful, and I love how you everything you're showing, right? It's very clear. People are asking you a lot of questions, and you're answering it very beautifully. I enjoy it. I go to your website or to
I
your Instagram. I'm like, ah, it's refreshing, you know.
Thank you so much. That means so much. Wow. And you know what? I'll be so happy if you join Creator Method. That's like so fun.
I will. I will. Now I'm like, like you're saying that with your website, like you're changing it, and I'm thinking of ways of, you know, for more people to have access to space whispering and to design. So I'm looking for ways. So a lot of the things I'm doing is like studying and joining courses and workshops and learning about, because I regardless of me being an extrovert, I'm very like, okay, this is my way. I'm concentrated. I'm doing this, and like
That's
there's
amazing.
yeah, there's such a big world out there, mainly marketing and social media. I didn't give it love. So I was like, and a lot of my closest friends didn't know like all the projects I was working on. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad. Like they have no idea. They only see a portion of
If
me.
you if you filmed it, you can just post it now and share it. It doesn't have to be like in time. Like if you have images from it, just post about it and share.
Yeah.
It's nice the sharing, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was just mentally I was telling myself, "Oh, I'll do it," or "It's not important." But yeah. I'm I'm slowly getting into it. I'm trying to post every day, just past projects and talking a little bit about them. I'm not putting videos of me, but I'm putting my voice. Eventually I'll do the videos of me. But I'm not ready yet.
That's fine. That's fine. It's a muscle, and you start off like this, and then eventually you're able to do it. It doesn't have to be your face in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like eventually. It's all good. As long as you're sharing your gifts with the world, that's what matters.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
I love this call. Thank you so much for doing
Thank
it.
you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Soon.
Yeah, we'll see you. Bye.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.